chief.
Sold into the merchant ships.
What a thing.
Minutes of a day to guide. From the bottomless pit.
I will never forget.
Was made strong.
My ancestors.
By the hand of the Almighty, we forward in this generation.
Your death has not been in vain.
Triumphantly, won't you help the sin? These songs of freedom,
Uplifting.
all I ever had.
It's our redemption. Our redemption. The great harlot Babylon has fallen. Are you ready for it? Our time. Africa is calling. How many sacrifices?
Just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help us?
Help, 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 my family, help. Are you gonna help me, us, and help me, help yourself, the family? Sing the song of freedom. It's been a long time in coming, my family. Now it is here. How are we gonna move this agenda forward? How are we gonna move this agenda forward, my family? Yeah? Time is at redemption song.
These songs of freedom is all I ever had.
Liberate your minds,
Redemption song,
your spirituality
redemption song,
determines your mentality,
redemption song.
determines your action. Are you ready to act? Whether it's here or abroad, Africa is calling. Calling its soldiers home. Are you ready?
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind.
It's about time.
Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop off the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look?
No more.
Some say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. Won't you help us in?
Help, help, help.
Jesus of freedom.
Liberation time.
Redemption song.
No more botheration.
All I ever had. Redemption song.
No more botheration.
Songs of freedom.
Liberation time.
Songs of freedom.
Redemption song. Yes, my family. Una ready? How no do? Sun a shine. Weather is nice. Weather nice. Nice outside. Yeah, just I enjoy it and I recharge my battery. Yeah, getting energized to come spend the time with yourselves. A little bit late, but do forgive. Nonetheless, I do believe it's going to be quite an interesting gathering today. I'm expecting a good brother, Reggie Haynes, to join me in the studio at some point today. Not being too long in communication, and he's a bit of a time away, but nonetheless, yeah, I'm here with you. So yeah, I'd like to thank my fellow DJ for his contribution to the program thus far, and looking forward to hear further as to how he settles and put his views to you, the listeners out there. Yes, summer family, on the door, great uprising. I hope all is fine in this fine weather, and no doubt like myself that you're recharging, enjoying this good weather that seemed to be with us. You know, I'd been out in the garden picking some more figs and things like that, you know what I'm saying? So I know I missed you, and I'm hoping you likewise. Yeah, you know, like our river miss water. And again, so much has happened in the last week since I was on this platform with yourselves. You know, some of us, we've lost loved ones, some have resigned, some have reinvented themselves, you know. But what a thing when we say enough is enough. You know, which is the name of this program. So how are you? Are you at the end of your tether? Had enough? Yeah? Prepared to take a stand in order to seek equal rights and justice, as the song had said. Yeah, how many more will have to suffer, and how many more will have to die, yeah, before we come to realize. Yeah, but anyway, how are you coping? Yeah, how can we help each other to continue on this blessed journey we call life? Yeah, one that we never give up on this good fight. Yeah, so it is time, as the records say, to emancipate ourselves from this mental slavery and to free ourselves, because none but ourselves can free our minds. And I must share it with you. I've just come from the Chestnut Center. I was there for a revivalist session, in that today Akebulan have had their opening ceremony, which is the Marcus Messiah Garvey and the UNIC on today at their opening ceremony, which I understand is going to run for a month. Yes, so it was the official opening to an entire month, honoring the life and legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency, none other than Marcus Messiah Garvey. Now, it being such an, important and irrelevant time, particularly in this time, I made it my point of duty was to go and to share in their libation, and I must say I was very impressed, and I left there only to get back into the studio, so do forgive me for having been a little bit late, but I must salute my elder brother Mandaka for his stewardship, and I look forward also again to picking up on the non-stopping drums and the vibration and the energy to which it puts out. Yeah, so that's where I'm coming from, my family. So I'm hoping then that we're going to stand together in unity to continue on this fight, on this good fight for our rights, for our family, our community. Again, it being this time of day, what is it that is cooking this afternoon? What is it for dinner? What is it that you have in your pot? What is on the fire that you care to share? Or is it, as I've said previously, is it that the pot I cook and the food is not enough? Are you not satisfied with the life to which you're living? And if not, what are you prepared to do about it in this time? Because ways are not for the swift, but for those who can endure and do endure. Yeah, so my family, it's been quite an eventful week, and it's one of those weeks that, for whatever reason, I know it is obviously for some of us, it's been quite good. I think for me, my week, I think it started from Monday. I was over there in Brixton, which would have been Independence Day or Emancipation Day, and then even as recent as yesterday, I was where were we selling Emancipation, and I'm just getting so mixed up. I don't know if it's the sun that hit me, but I spent my time yesterday both with community as well as with family, you know. But before I do forget myself, and obviously reminded, obviously because of the libation that was done earlier at the chestnut, that paying respect to my ancestors is somewhat duty bound. So on all of those shoulders to which I do stand, and many of them was mentioned, and that's why I feel so honored to have been in attendance this afternoon at the Chestnut Center for such an occasion, as recognizing the stewardship, the effort that and the sacrifice that had been made by all our ancestors, particularly in this case Marcus Messiah Garvey. Him obviously having said that we are not going to know ourselves until our backs are against the wall. So I am indeed saying that our backs are against the wall, family. So now is the time to take a stand. Yeah, further, I would like to pay my respect to management and fellow presenters on blessradio1.com. And again to you, my listeners out there, more love, peace and harmony. Yeah, to the generals them out there in the community, particularly those on the front line holding the fort, my salute. The Joy Gardner family, Graham particularly, and it was pleasing again to see Mom, Miss Miranda Simpson yesterday. To our good brother Douglas Williams family, my salute, happy independence, as well as Emancipation Day to you. Now, obviously, again, a number of us are questioning the fact: how independent are we, and how liberated are we? That is another thing. Yeah, my regards, respect goes also out to Julia Gomez family, to the Edgeworths family, that's Lady Leo's family, and my family and friends over there in Jamaica. Just to mention a few: Bacha, Barry Dread, cousin Steve, Romaine, Annette, Rayo, Yvonne Daly, who had mentioned last week had lost a loved one. More strength to you, my family. Mr. John Nicholas up there in the hills, and Martin, his English friend. Yeah. Also to mention Patrick, Mr. Ogilvy, I've not spoken to you for a while. And more recently, again, establishing a link with the Rockfort drummers, with times in particular. The time being at hand, my family, and I'm asking that if you can link, and probably you have already done so, link up with my sister down there in order to get your hands on these t-shirts, which I do believe will assist you, yeah, in our fight, in our struggle down there, and that we're saying enough is enough. Yeah. Now, as I was indicated, for this week, we're gonna be having a guest in the studio, and none other than Mr. Reggie Haynes. Yeah, he will be in the studio. Our brother is an artist, videographer, editor, producer, mentor, and so much more. And I think we may well touch again on the emancipation of ourselves, mind, body, and soul. Probably do a little reflection on our independence. Again, the drumming, as was at the occasion this afternoon. We're looking at the 1,000 Drum Unity African Ancestral Salute. Our spirituality, which ties in again with our warrior queen Sasha Johnson, with her continued improvements, aided by our ancestral tributes, which goes somewhere towards the healing. We will again be looking at the forgiveness within our community as well as ourselves. An element of community politics, because I've got some good news in relation to our MP Kate Asamoah, who was a sitting candidate. Well, I can say to you that she was successful in her reselection, so the community can now look forward as to whether she will be elected next time round at the general election. And I'm saying that because it now sets a precedent for her to be sure to engage within the community with those that matters the most. I said birds of one feather flocks together, and the evidence over the past months would have shown as to where the loyalty lies. Yeah? So we again will be looking at love, unity, and events which are future events coming up. And in this month, I mean, there's so many. And again, we're looking at enough is enough as a movement, because again, I've got t-shirts out there in Jamaica, and we've got some radio presenters down there, and I'm not sure as to whether the televisions have been covering this ongoing issue down there around the Donnelly Donaldson's death, which I think has been ongoing now for the past 3 weeks. And I must salute Mr. Wayne Lonesome, Andre Stevens, Muta, and others, yeah, who is on the government's case, because I don't think that the PM has come out to show any empathy for the family. And to a certain extent, the police are still very much in defense of the government's stance, as well as their own, in the way they continue to disrespect our community, in saying our community, our people, yeah, and how they have a tendency to be taking our, what do you say, our non-action for granted, even though again I must note that I had heard Andre saying that he had himself been out protesting with others, and the outcome I'm not altogether sure, but what I do believe is that you need more vibration, more force in the stand to which you're taking, and for that reason I think we need to link in closely with the drummers and to chant down Babylon's system, the system of our oppressors, that we've come to realize the reasons as to why these forces was put in place in the first place was to quell the uprising which our ancestors, through the likes of Paul Bogle, had resurrected, yeah, when it got to a point when everybody was saying enough is enough. Yeah, so my family, I'm with you here in the studio, and I'm looking very much forward to us engaging, if at all possible. I'd like for you to take note of this number, which is 079 444 31366. Yeah, make it a number that is gonna provoke you to find your voice. Yeah, because that is what is very much needed now, my family. We need to find our voice, if not for our sake, then for the generation to come. And in so saying, yeah, we've got the situation over here where politically the so-called powers that be, they're still wrestling amongst themselves as to the one who is best able to fool with. Yeah. And when I say fool with, yeah, they're going through their selection as to who they would consider to be the best leader. Now, my heads up is they're going to be aiming to get another Thatcherite character. I don't think the country is ready for, what do you say, Sunak. I don't think the what do you say, the evidence or his history. Yeah, I know he's trying to wash his hands of what's being a tainted situation, being associated with Boris Johnson, but I don't think we're going to be fooled. Yeah, but that's me personally. But the truth of the matter, it doesn't matter which one, whichever one is in trusted into that position. There is going to be a call for an election because it has to go back out into the public domain as to who is going to lead post Brexit. Yeah. So my family, I trust that you've got the whole matter at hand. And as I settle myself down, I'll be right back with you on the other Songs for freedom, my family, songs for freedom, upliftment, uprising. The revolution has started. Yeah, you have your role to which you have to play. So let us stand together, my family. Let's stand together. Songs of freedom, my family, songs of freedom. We should have had this 400 years ago. As a matter of fact, we should have had this since 1962. But the whole thing was misguided and we were given a very long rope and we had been hanging ourselves ever since. Yeah, but there is hope, my family, there is hope. So in this time where we're going to be celebrating our honorable Messiah, Marcus Garvey, and try to replicate as to what our good brother had achieved, and those also our ancestors who had also added to the sacrifice. But let's be in a position again, my family, where we can regenerate ourselves, because it is necessary in order for us to so do.
Sunny day, I pray. I see no one in my way. It's even more than words can say. I listen last year leads the way. If it takes more than birds to sing, to let them know he's the only king of kings. That their blessing pure. Help us the last guy.
Bless Radio 1. It's the time to know yourself, my family. It's time to get to know yourself, because we need to be prepared more so in this time. Wicked out is mousing. We can easily be taken away. But for them I hate them long time rasta seamen. None of them can go chase away. Sunny day, I pray. Jaja leads the way. 'Cause sunny day, I pray. That leads the way.
the stars are shining, and Jah will bless a brighter day. No for them are in them, long time rest I see them. So I see if you cleanse your ways, do some good today. Tread on to Zion way, sunny day. I pray, Jah Jah leads the way to Zion way. Sunny day, I pray, Jah leads the way to Zion way. No, I'm on my journey, who is gonna stop me? I see no one in my way. It's even more than words can say, yeah. I listen last I leads away. If it takes more than birds to sing, to let them know he's the only king of kings, then I blessing pure. Emperor Selassie, sunny day, I pray. Jah Jah leads the way.
Yes, it's indeed a sunny day, my family. Indeed a sunny day. And I'm going to get the program off. And I'd like to turn to the Words of Good, Volume 2, Enlightenment. And this is indeed His Imperial Majesty's Words of Good. And this week reading is taken from page 18 as well as page 19 of the Word. Word up. Recognizing one's problems and striving hard to challenge them is a mark of an attempt at self-sufficiency. And this was indeed what our Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey had established through his cooperation with the UNIA. Yeah, and since his effort, it would appear that we have gone no way forward. We've gone into the selfish mode. And a further word, how noble and great a deed is the act of sacrificing one's wealthy land and money to one's needy community instead of for selfish purposes. Now that one goes out to what we could say more points to our leader down there. Well, let's not say leader, let's say our Prime Minister. Yeah, because if we follow him right now, he's leading us very much astray. Yeah, so this one goes out to our Prime Minister down there, and I don't know how much how much longer we're not gonna take him fame foolishness, you know. I don't know. Yeah, but I think it's in the House they'd have to put in a motion or a vote of no confidence in order for him to move. But other than that, my people will not have to just protest, and I'm talking about peaceful protest, because I don't think he's getting the hint right now. Yeah, so how noble and great a deed is the act of sacrificing one's wealthy land and money to one's needy community instead of for selfish purposes, as our Prime Minister is presently demonstrating. Yeah, so I'm afraid that challenge is in your camp, my family, because I'm very much abroad at the present, even though spiritually and mentally I am there with you. Yeah, I'm not there physically. Yeah, but I'm there spiritually with you. And I can only encourage you that you need to take a stand and to act, because if you don't do so, then this glorious paradise that we thought our ancestors had made the sacrifice for, yeah, will be given away, yeah, by our politicians, yeah, who are just so self-serving. Yeah, I can't understand what else to say other than what I've just said. Yeah, so it would appear that we're in the rumble.
Tall and built so high. Until you reach the sky.
Security for security now.
So high.
You feel this? Out of Bubba camp a 9 mile. Yes, keep the prince and the princess them mile. I in a Babylon them a move too vile. Who them no kill them go send a exile.
Glorification of this blood and nation. I give thanks and love and all. God bless my mama.
Righteousness.
Every time. Yes, manners and respect goes out to the drummers, them out of Rockfort. Yeah, I hope you make good and proper use of. Yeah, those t-shirts that my sister is gonna be bringing to her now. Yeah, enough is enough every time. I'm telling her.
Why say we must unite? It's a rumble jumble life. For people pay the sacrifice.
Too much sacrifice. Too much. Enough is enough now, man.
It's a worldwide thing. Whoa.
Too much problem. We as Jamaicans, we don't like the problem enough.
Inna this a rumble jumble life.
No moderation.
People pay the sacrifice.
Strictly liberation.
Rumble jumble life. Whoa. But I eat some food and it can't taste nice. It's a rumble jumble life. For people pay the sacrifice. Inna this a rumble jumble life. Whoa.
Can't take it no more.
Whoa. From a distance, some say it's too much sacrifice. From a distance, some say we must pay the price. No man is an island.
Yes, my family, we can't stand alone. Yeah, it's all about collective effort right now. Yeah, we have to stand together. Yeah, we have to stand together with family, because if we don't, yeah, they're gonna just isolate we and just, say, bump we off, yeah, because they believe to themselves that they are untouchable. Yeah, they are untouchable. They are a law unto themselves. Yeah, so we don't want no more botheration. All we want right now is liberation. Yeah, take back the country. Yeah, and we have to go back to the original treaty. Don't forget who we are. We are maroon.
It's a rumble jumble life. For people pay the sacrifice.
Long time.
Rumble jumble life. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is gonna happen to this generation? This generation.
Rise up.
What is gonna happen to this newborn generation? Oh, this third and fourth generation that is coming down. This third and fourth generation, hear me now. Inna this a rumble jumble life. For people pay the sacrifice. Inna this a rumble jumble life. Man, I cook some food and it can't taste nice. It's a rumble jumble life. Whoa, 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 Lord. Inna this a rumble jumble life. Whoa, hey. Some say them bad, but we know them bad mind. No one see them brother move with a dime. Some
bad
say them rough, but me know them bad mind. Them no one see them brother have nice time in this rumble jumble life. Poor people pay the sacrifice. Inna this rumble jumble life. Whoa, man, I eat some food and it can't nice.
Yes, my family, what a rumble jumble in the jungle right now. Is like everybody for themselves. Yeah, but we, the poor people, are suffer. Yeah, and the only way we can counteract that is if we come together as a collective. Yeah, because the powers that be are those who think they have power instead of responsibilities, neglecting their responsibility, and I use a whip pan we, because them things say them have the power whereby we can't do nothing about it. Yeah, so we have to go switch. Yeah, we have to go switch pan them. Yeah, so it's all in our hands now. Yeah, it's in our hands. Okay, right now, what I'd like to share with you, whilst we're still awaiting our good brother to arrive in the studio, yeah, I'm gonna make it, which I'd said previously, our good brother Russ Iron Kunta Tafari had made available these books, the good words, or the words of good, and I've got at my disposal both volumes, the first of which was The Awakening, which were printed in Ethiopia, and they are in fact the words of His Imperial Majesty Selassie I, and we've got both versions of both volumes, being volume 1 The Awakening and volume 2 The Enlightenment. And these are a couple books which I would recommend to you, the listeners out there, that you could read on a daily basis to give you those words of encouragement. And my good brother had made a present of a few to myself, to which the opportunity is there for you to obtain a copy free of charge by simply phoning 079 444 31366. Now that's all in an effort to engage with yourselves, for you to find your voices. And also I have got available the t-shirts which says enough is enough, and on the face of it is also the lion with the acronym Taras and its full explanation in small print. So I've got the t-shirts there also, and for the t-shirts obviously would like to set a few questions as towards to enable you to be in position of it for your effort. Yeah, so that's how the program is unraveling itself as we move forward, and we're aiming to establish a platform whereby we can establish a network out there which is going to enable us to address all the issues of concerns within our community, and it also deals with the monetary sides. So if you're a business, any form of enterprise, whether it's social or what do you say, monetary, then we would like to know, so that for the future, when anyone reference us insofar as what their needs may be, we'll be able to pass your information on to them, and obviously it's going to improve upon the response to the services to which you're providing. Yeah, so we're encouraging of yourself to make use of this platform. That's at Bless Radio 1 FM, to be able to extend the blessing out to the community, to enable us to regenerate and to address the issues which are besetting us. Yeah, because no man is an island and none of us stands alone. Yeah, also we would like, and though I've got a number of drummers phone details, I've not personally made the calls, so I'm going to be setting about making phone calls to the drummers to which I had made link over the past year plus, in order for yourself to join up in the drum unity, or the 1000 drum unity, because we're proposing obviously to be putting on events, and we also do have requests at times insofar as or for drummers, yeah, to play at occasions, whether it's a social social program, or it's a bereavement or a night as an example, I acknowledge and realize that it can be somewhat problematic because individuals or group can turn up to on an occasion and they're somewhat separated, but under the thousand drums, then we are one in drum unity. And we want to encourage that you don't lose your identity, yeah, but that you do have that facility in order to make your contribution within the community, yeah. So my family, these are the words of encouragement to you. So I'm hoping it be offer an healing, yeah. It affords us spreading the words of love, and in also we would be encouraging of yourself. If you would want to sponsor us, Bless Radio, then you can also do so. And in so doing, then you will make your, what do you say, your contribution to the wider community, because this platform will give you recognition for the good works to which you've done. Yeah. Now, I'd just like to acknowledge my brother, my special guest today, has turned up in the studio, and I'm very much honored to see yourself, my brother. Yeah. So let us touch on another tune whilst I welcome my brother, and then we will be joining you at some point on the other side. Yeah. So do full joy, my family. Do full joy.
From thy holy place, he grants the fire face now. Guide us so dark things, his steps are only. Guide us from thy holy place, he grants the fire face. I will make music with all my soul now. The glory of Jah got to be unfold. He who searches minds and heart, see deeply to our heart, considering my above all things. He never forgets the cry, suffering you don't cry. I will see you to one day. What they say, better must come one day. In the Father we hope and pray. The sun keeps shining all the way. The fairing of my King is the beginning of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The beauty to behold, Mother Earth's creation. The rain can rain and the sun keeps shining too. Oh, a beautiful earth is a noble joy too. Praises be to my King. There's no other like him. Praises be to my King. Glory to his name. You can say what you wanna say, do what you wanna do, and no matter if I love you. So many youths have been gone astray, youths have been on the way. I see them going on the wrong way. Thank you, Jah, for guiding me, showing me a brighter way. Songs of praise I sing for thee, never tomorrow. day in the Father we hope and pray. The sun keeps shining all the way. The fairing of my King is the beginning. If wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, why the beauty to me all love, Mother Earth creation. Rain come rain and the sun keeps shining through. A beautiful creation is outside you. Yo yo, praises be to my King. There's no other like him. Praises be.
And Mike, audio check, audio check, audio check. Yeah, sorry, my family. We seem to be having a bit of a technical. Okay, I'm trusting and I'm hoping that's okay. Yeah, I've lost my pool for thoughts. Yeah, but we was talking about the US of A and state of Texas. Yeah, but let me just go straight in with our guest and welcome my good brother Reggie Haynes to our Bless FM studio. So, my brother, please, it's the opportunity to greet our guests, our listeners who are out there, and then, having done so, then we can take up things a bit further.
Absolutely. First off, I want to say, King, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. It's a tremendous honor. I remember we met over a year ago, and it was a pleasure to be out there when we were bashing the drums and just connecting with the ancestors. So thank you so much for this opportunity to be in your presence and also to be on your phenomenal platform, Bless Radio 1. For all those out there who are tuning in, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to listen to what is a phenomenal radio show host. And I know Mr. Clive is always doing a phenomenal job making sure of that. So I'm just honored to be here. Who am I? I am a person to where when it comes in regards to music, entertainment, etc., I'm always trying to present what I believe to be truth, along with African empowerment and African unity. So that's basically just who I am. I always try to represent myself as a symbol and have people focus on that rather than, I want them to focus on the message, not the messenger. So that's who I am.
All right.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Yeah, my thank you for that, and also for having reminded me that it wasn't just on that platform, but we had actually met in the bandstand.
Yes, sir.
When we was making the tribute to
Yes, sir.
our warrior queen Sasha Johnson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Well, I stand reminded, and
Yes,
it's
sir.
always
Yes, sir.
it was always good to know.
Yes, King.
So
Yes.
we obviously we didn't know each other then.
No. We met briefly, and I know that it was more along the lines of a meeting between you and Sasha, and that's one of the things. You know how I was raised when, you know, it's not your place to, you know, interfere. You stay back and you just let, you know, the family take care of business, and you'll have your chance in the future to meet a phenomenal king like yourself.
The call, no doubt, will come.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Time,
King.
the
Absolutely.
call will come.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I mean, my family, those who are out there and listening, you may well detect an accent, which is coming to the fore. You know, with our good brother. Yeah. So first, let me ask, how is life? Or how has life been, and how long have you been in the UK?
Yes, sir. Life has been phenomenal. To be honest with you, I moved into the UK back in October 2020, excuse me, and the reason being is because I met the love of my life years ago, and ever since then, you know, we decided that we wanted to have our life here rather than back in America.
Okay.
So we met on the filming set, and of course, my wife and I will tell you that we couldn't stand each other when we first met, but we grew to be great friends, and then, you know, became lovers, and the rest is history.
Okay, is
Yes,
that because you had contrasting casting
sir.
roles?
It's you know what, King, you probably hit the nail right on the head with that one. You're probably right, but I know this is when it comes in regards to our queens. We as kings should always be respectful and always let it be known, look, we are being respectful to you because you deserve the utmost respect. It's no hidden agendas, etc. We are trying to, you know, just show you the love and respect that you deserve, because unfortunately the rest of the world isn't outside of our race. And the ones who are within our race who are doing that, they have a lot of learning to do. So when it came in regards to my wife and I, she's always been tough, but it's one of those things to where I felt like a lot of our queens, they go through a lot of trauma, and we as kings have the I feel like we have the power to change that narrative and let it be known, like, hey, look, I'm not here for any personal gain, I'm not here for any hidden agendas, I love you. And that's kind of how my wife and I started. It was one of those things to where it was when you're trying to find that person you can spend the rest of your life with, it can be rocky because you just don't know if this is the right one. But I'm glad that, you know, the best thing that ever happened to me, one of the best things that ever happened to me, was her making the decision to say, you know what, I trust this guy and I want to spend the rest of my life with him.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So she dealt with your trauma. Because I know, I mean, you've mentioned that
Yes, sir.
our queen's been traumatized.
Yes,
but
sir.
I think we also
Yes, sir.
are traumatized.
Yes,
And
sir.
so the fact that we can acknowledge that in order to move forward.
Yes,
And
sir.
I think also, as you'd mentioned, the fact that you was working in similar setting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Initially, like it's to a certain extent, because of where you are working, it's a privilege
Yes, sir.
setting, because if
Yes,
you're
sir.
in the industry, there aren't many people who have the opportunity.
You're
So
absolutely right.
automatically is like one can make the assumption that she is in a privileged position and you yourself is in a privileged situation. And
Yes, sir.
oftentimes, as we see demonstrated,
Yes, sir.
those who are very successful, they tend to move away from their own
Yep. Yes,
for
sir.
whatever reason. It
Yes,
seems
sir.
that there's a conflict as to why we can't make that automatic bond.
Biggest mistake with our people. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they asked me what did I think about celebrities. And in a song that I recently made a quote saying, I don't like celebrities. Their job's to make you feel low, so they can feel high off your energy. Your energy's precious, she'll never be taken, so don't let these inhumane illusions lead you to confusion. Kings and queens, take your stuff back. They fear if you get it back, then the world will be back on track.
Yeah.
So the point that I'm trying to make with that lyric, King, is to where I feel like if you are melanated African or connected to the original people, there should be no reason for you to ever step away from them. My thing is this: I don't believe in the whole success factor. I don't believe in one person. Let me just say this: a true leader to me is someone who, whenever other people's attention is focused on them, they want the people to focus on the message and not the messenger. And the message should always be to where we as a people have the tools to liberate and free ourselves from all forms of oppression and all forms of evil. So when I see these people on TV saying, "Oh, I'm successful, I'm big, bad, and the third," I always shake my head because I'm like, with all of that money, with all that attention, that is still under the guise of an oppressor who has created you to step away from your people so you can make it seem like you're bigger than them. That is the worst thing that you can do. So at the end of the day, I don't care if you ever hear Reggie on the radio, see Reggie in public. I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. And when it comes in regards to our people as Africans, we are phenomenal. But that doesn't mean that whatever we do makes us better than the rest or better than each other, because that's a divisive tactic, and any division is not for our people, it's only against us.
Particularly where we're in a state where we've not achieved our objective, where we're all on that level playing the field. So we mustn't buy into that kind of a narrative which takes us away from our real aims and objective, which is to a certain extent to take back the responsibility of this Garden of Eden that I just say those who think they are in control tends to, because of they don't have the knowledge as to how to maintain this garden, they tend to just destroy. You know. So my brother, I'm so honored and appreciative of the perspective to which you put on it. Particularly when it addresses the issue amongst ourselves immediately, where we're in a society now where it would appear that our queens are not as protected as they ought to be. And you've touched on it in a manner whereby you've set a precedent. And it goes both ways. We have to acknowledge that because we are traumatized to a certain extent. It is more of a challenge in order for us to achieve that level whereby we can be respectful of each other and not see our career as an obstacle.
And it's so honored to be in, I know we're going to be complimenting each other all day, King, because it is a tremendous honor. But without my elders, yourself, without my elders back home in Texas and all of the good ancestors that came before me, there wouldn't be a me. And I feel like the spirituality of all of you flows through me, leading me to do whatever I do. So I give all 100% credit to you all. Going back to the note about our women, I, for one, King, am not a perfect man. One thing is that I learned to where in order to try to be the best that you can be, you have to learn from your mistakes. So there have been times to where I've yelled. You know, my wife and I have gotten into arguments, and as soon as the argument's over, I just shake my head and say, "Reggie, what are you doing? Like, you do not talk like that. You should never treat your queen like that." And I have to realize that at the end of the day, I know that I have a phenomenal partner and phenomenal people like yourself, King, to where you will never hold guilt or shame over my head. If I do something wrong, you're quick to pull me to the side and say, "Hey, look, learn from your mistakes and let's keep it moving." So that way you don't repeat those mistakes ever again. So there's no bumps in the road. So I'm just tremendously humbled and honored to have the people in my life that I have leading me in the right direction. And even if I make a mistake, even if we make a mistake, we know that we're correcting ourselves to better ourselves, not to keep each other down or bring each other down.
That's so fantastic. So you're saying honor. I'm indeed honored. I want to be amongst young blood.
Yes, sir. Yes,
energy.
Yes, sir.
And also the diversity that you present in this perspective. Now, you said you've been here 2 years.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
so, were you born, bred in the USA, or are you from one of the diaspora, or even Africa? Because who am I to assume?
Yes, sir. I was born and raised in Houston, Texas.
In Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir. Yes.
So, insofar as parents.
Yeah. So, I was raised by my mother, and with her, I feel like my mom, King, if I relive this life again, I wouldn't change anything. So I would definitely want her to be my mother in every lifetime. I couldn't ask for a better parent. And I'm not taking away from my biological father. My biological father is one of the most, smartest, intelligent men that you could ever meet. But with my mother, I know for a fact that when there were things that she couldn't teach me as a man, she surrounded me with phenomenal men that could fill that void. So that's basically, my number one right there. The woman who raised me, and she surrounded me with a great foundation and a great community who, like I said, if she wasn't around, they would definitely fill that void. Yes, sir. So that's my backstory about where I'm from.
Okay.
Yes,
so I'm taking it from that they were also born in the
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We were all born in Houston, Texas. The last name Haynes, during my best research, I figured that when it came in regards to the plantations that we were on down south, they gave us that name because we were known as the slaves to be insubordinate. That definition was created by them to be like they're insubordinate, they're dismissive to our laws, and they're always trying to scheme or plot to get away from us and free themselves. So that was a name that was given to us by them. But I do need to go to African so I can know exactly where I'm from and exactly. But I will say this: no matter where we are from, I would say that we should always embrace, who we are and know that we are all one at the end of the day. And I would never, ever, like I said earlier, never put myself on a pedestal or anyone else based off of where they were born at. Because I know for a fact us as the African people are the original, and it gets no more phenomenal than that.
Okay,
Yes,
okay. All right, well, we've touched on so much already. We've touched on married life to a certain extent around the TV,
Yes,
television, but you yourself, you've got your own TV network.
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah?
Yes,
So,
sir.
you brought it to my attention that you've got ARH TV. So what is RH TV?
Yes, sir. RHTelevisions.com is a website, and that is the home of the RH TV network, and that is the home of the TV show which I play for Identical Brothers, who try to make the world a better place using their talents. That TV show, the title of that TV show is called The House of Reggie's TV show. And I created this show to basically be a symbol to let our people know we don't need any help outside of our communities in order to do what we feel like is best for us or to accomplish anything. We have all the tools that we need. And this is a show to where the first 2 seasons I just did it on my own, but I had inspirations, like I said, King, from yourself, from our ancestors, because their spirituality flowed through me, and they took the wheel on it. So that is a TV show on a TV network that I did create. But like I say, all credit goes to my elders and my ancestors.
Okay. So what is it that you aim to achieve with it? Are you going to be on a recruitment drive for talent? Or are you going to be training people in certain areas for their own development as well as for your channel, so that we have a well-established network?
Yes, sir.
So we can engage and see ourselves being replicated
Yes, absolutely.
in the mainstream.
Absolutely. King, Mr. Clive, if you want to be on the network, you already on there. You got it. You don't have to twist my arm. You on there.
No.
We just got it. All I have to do, because what I do on the network is during the commercial breaks of the TV show, I give free promotion to African-owned businesses and African-owned companies, or just anything that's connected to our African ancestry. So with that is to where I am always looking for people to add to the network. And Fourth Seal TV Network is another platform that has my TV show on there, and I know that they're always accepting my work. So if King Clive came up to me and be like, Reggie, do you think we could plug that in? I say absolutely. Absolutely. And Fourth Seal TV Network is under Roku TV, which is under Netflix, etc. So that is actually a TV network to where it can be on there. But if anybody is interested on that, they could always contact me and YRProductionsTV1 at gmail.com, and we can definitely get the ball rolling. I feel like my days of I do make profit from mentoring and videography, but when it comes in regards to, if I have something that could, like I say, liberate and free our people, or give our people that platform that we need in order to get our word out, I'm all for it. So I feel like the time is not now, but right now. So King Clive, you already there.
Yeah, without a doubt, the time is right now,
You got
because
it.
we're talking about liberation.
Yes, sir.
And the way to which you've put it just goes to show it's like a mindset.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you're making it a reality insofar as it's being an opportunity. Yeah. So insofar as the crew, do you go out, do filming, or do you set the script and then go?
Yes, sir. So I write the scripts, and then I try to get funding, and that's the hardest thing, because there have been times in the past when I didn't know what I was doing, King Clive, and what I was doing was I was basically having people who really loved what they're doing, my wife included. She was definitely the biggest inspiration into what I'm doing now. To where people were just working for free, and then it got to a point where I was like, I cannot have people work for free anymore. The last film I did that was dedicated to Sasha and her boys was a film to where I worked overtime in order to make sure everybody else is paid. I couldn't pay myself though, and that's fine. But I know that hopefully I'm going to start doing workshops with other companies, and that can lead to our people having funding. So that way I can start funding these projects, bring people in who are wanting to work with me, and just go from there. Like I always tell people, I'm not a big shot baller or anything like that, so I don't have all the money in the world, but I always try my best to make sure that our people are taken care of when it comes in regards to their travel, their food, and also having money in their pocket for the phenomenal work that they put into for the production.
Okay, well, you've got the knowledge, so the knowledge is a power, and it's a power that makes things happen.
Thank you,
but
sir.
you've mentioned our warrior queen, Sasha, and I'm
Yes,
taking, you're
sir.
talking Sasha Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you actually got to know Sasha?
Yes, sir. So I met Sasha at the beginning of this 2021, and I remember when we first met, she asked me a question. She was like, "Is this the same Reggie who does movies and who tried out for the NFL?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I heard her in the background tell somebody, "I'll believe that explicit when I see it." So when I went to her house, she had me standing out. We had a ritual, King, to where she would have me stand out in the rain for about over an hour, waiting on her. She she would fall asleep, leave me out in the rain all the time. I used to meet her, and our conversation started off as to where she wanted to represent me for music, and then they went from talking about business to us just being, friends. And I used to always tell her, like I tell yourself, King, are you getting sleep? Are you getting 8 hours a day? Are you pushing the fluids? I would see her hand and it'll always be shaking. I'm like, yeah, so you're not pushing the fluids and you're not getting rest. It's like your body is like a car. If you're in overdrive, it's going to tend to shake on you, then it can shut down. So we did build a bond with me knowing her for 5 months before the accident. And she definitely pulled me closer to my African roots and my African family, like yourself, leading me to just, really just be in a position of happiness with my African family. And definitely miss talking to her. But I know for a fact that her spirit lives on through all of us, and it's constantly going to continue to grow.
Because where things are at, as far as I understand it, with our family member, the Sasha, is that she's doing everything except for walking.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So having spoken to Andy recently, I was really uplifted.
Yeah.
And for the wider community, particularly the drum family, I mean, we've
Yes,
been
sir.
drumming, just to raise that vibration. And myself, like with you,
Yes, sir.
I only know Sasha a relative short period of time, but it would appear like we know each other for years.
Yes, sir.
And the way she had impacted on myself. If it's meant that I just get my game together, she
sir.
re-engaged with me to the
Yes, sir.
point where she roped me
Yes, sir.
politically
Yes, sir.
to take the initiative,
Yes,
which
sir.
for me was an initiative
Yes,
because
sir.
of the spirit that she
Yes.
was giving me.
Yes, sir.
And
Yeah.
then what made it not worse, but probably better, is the fact that she made her family connection
Yes.
back in St. Thomas, where myself
Yes,
is from.
Yes,
so
sir. Yes,
again, it's just even like
Yes.
with those two
In St.
chairs.
Thomas, I looked at the pictures and the video. It's beautiful out there, King. Ooh, y'all got a beautiful roots out there.
It's a spiritual place, and also it's a place where there's a certain resistance which is ingrained.
Okay.
I'm talking about a spiritual thing
Okay.
within most of us.
Gotcha.
So much so that it's on the island. It's like it's a forgotten, what do you say, county or parish.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because we're so rebellious
Yes, sir.
that the oppressors,
Yeah.
they don't want for us to raise our head above the parapet because they know once we see what's going on, we're going to rush over it in order to
Yes,
address
sir.
it.
Yes,
You know
sir.
what I'm saying? So it's an honor to be sitting down again, knowing that our journey
Yes,
has
sir.
some similarities.
Yes, sir.
But then that I would say then has dealt with your TV,
Yes, sir.
and I can see there's a lot of work that you've got in the mind.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's already been thought that you're going to be putting out there. So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying to you, the listeners, particularly our youngers,
Yes, sir.
yeah, because if you're not listening, we're going to be asking your parents to put it out so that you can respond, and later on you'll get
Yes, sir.
our brother's details
Yes,
in
sir.
order for you to further
Yes, sir.
the words to which he's putting out, which are
Yes, sir.
all positive.
Yes, sir.
So that deals with your TV and the network associated
And if you
with
don't
that.
mind me asking, adding something else, King, for all of the people out there, when it comes in regards to copyright, I always tell our people, whenever you come up with an idea, poor man's copyright. Reggie, what's poor man's copyright? Poor man's copyright is to where whenever you write a script, a radio outline, whenever you do show prep, etc., any ideas that you have, you write it down, you date it, you sign it. You put that in an envelope, you send that envelope to wherever you stay at, and you make sure that it is stamped. So that way, whenever you get that envelope, if anybody steals any of your ideas, which a lot of people out there are going to try to do because they've been doing it to us for years, you bring that to the courtroom and let it be known, I want to file a complaint because somebody is trying to steal my ideas and I'm not going to allow it to happen. They're going to ask for the evidence, and you make sure that you give the judge and the lawyers your information. Now, what if they say they're working with the people who stole your idea? Always make sure that you have backups on top of backups. So you poor man's copyright that thing 2 or 3 more times if you have to. That way you have 3 copyrighted copies of what you are going to send to the people who you want to try to defend you in the court. Now, with that also, for all of our radio personalities out there like yourself, King Clive, if you guys don't have it, it's an app out there called Anchor, to where you can plug in old episodes or new episodes on into this app, to where you basically get paid for your listenership per listen, per view, etc. And this is a free app. It doesn't cost you a thing, but the good thing is to where this can also be a reliable source for us as a people to basically gain profit for us being creative, whether it's trying to put music out there or whether it's trying to put our podcasts or our radio shows out there. So these are free apps that the world doesn't want you to know about, that you can use in order to get some form of revenue from these corporations that are always trying to take revenue from you. So that was just my take on it. Sorry if I was talking too much.
And more so, the gist of what has been said, you need to protect
Yes,
your
sir.
creativity.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as we continue our communication,
Yes, sir.
and to enlighten our listeners out there,
Yes, sir.
you've dealt with the TV.
Yes, sir.
So I think you touched on the music a little bit.
Yes, sir.
In insofar as your copyrights on there.
Yes,
but
sir.
insofar as the message
Yes, sir.
that is associated with your music,
Yes, sir.
I can only make the assumption that it's all positive. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
and it being positive, it's upliftment. So, what is it that you're seeing out there presently, which you could say is working against the grain or is to our detriment? I'm saying the content of the music, and how does yours contrast?
Yes, sir. So I feel like growing up, I wasn't a big supporter of a lot of the music out there. If anyone ever asked me who's your favorite artist of all time, I'll say Tupac Shakur. I would say that I did not listen to majority of his music because I know for a fact that you have a lot of our people, we come out of what we believe to be toxic communities. And mind you, the toxins are only flooding our communities because there have been infiltrations and there have been people who are paid to do that on a consistent basis, a la the inhumane cowardice leaders of the world. And then you're led to believe that the only way for you to make it out of this toxic environment, instead of cleaning it up, instead of trying to be a warrior and push all the toxins out, you want to get out yourself so you can have a better life. Okay, well, let me sign a deal or sell my soul to the oppressor. And by doing that, you have to create divisive and negative music or just negative content in order for people around the world to say, see, that's why they get treated that way. See, that's why they get treated this way. And that is the worst thing that anyone could ever do or basically feed upon. So when I see a lot of people that are always talking bad about themselves, bad about our people, bad about our queens, bad about our kings, talking about, being inhumane towards one another, I feel like that is a puppet for the inhumane cowardice leaders who are paying them to do so. And with that, I know for a fact in my music, I always try to push that to the forefront and let it be known. This is exactly what you do not need to become, let alone repeat at all, because it's not cool. It's not okay. There is no price on this earth, King, that is worth my soul, and that should be the principle for all of our people.
Okay.
Yes,
so, insofar as the production side of the music, are you also involved in that to the extent?
No, I am not.
Okay.
I would say on my last album, I was introduced to Dr. Jude, the phenomenal Dr. Jude, who produced my last album. It's called I'm Done with the Inhumane Race. And it's on my website, rhtelevisions.com. And Dr. Drew did a phenomenal job of just producing the whole entire album. And he is just a pioneer himself and a phenomenal king who, he's a person to where he is like, Reggie, I believe in what you're doing. I don't want you to overpay me, etc. And I'm like, no, King, let me pay you your worth. And he's like, no, I just want this out there. So big love and respect to Dr. Jude for producing this album. And that's who I give full credit to, along with my ancestors and my elders, of course, for this previous album that came out recently called I'm Done with the Inhumane Race.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're still on that production, you're still producing and writing.
I write, but when it comes to the mixture and mastering, I'm terrible. I'm probably
so
the
what
worst.
do you do? Do you sing or do you
Yes,
rap?
yes. I'm sorry. I do rapping and a little bit of harmonizing. Yes, sir.
Harmonizing.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic, and I'm
Thank
sure it's sweet music to our listeners. And I'm saying that because you're very much independent of what is going on here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
you're not going to be seen as a competition. It's just like an enlightenment,
Yes, sir.
an encouragement for those who are the listening,
Yes,
who are
sir.
so listening. Because I know myself, they are young artists.
Yes,
what
sir.
comes to mind is I've got a young soldier, Graham.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you know, but Graham Burke is the son of Joy Gardner, one of those that
Okay.
had been
Nice.
mummified, we say, murdered.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
was
sorry for your
murdered
loss, King.
because of this hostile environment on those of us who are from the Windrush generation. So there's somebody I'd like for you to meet
Yeah, absolutely, King.
at some point.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If the
And,
music is uplifting and unifying, it's all love. Yes.
Yeah,
sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
because as you say, the time is now.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It
and
is.
because it's now, there is like some of us are being prepared
Yes, sir.
by whatever means necessary. Yeah. So there's some trauma, frustration,
Yeah.
joy, pain
Yes,
that
sir.
is in a lot of us that we need to
Yeah.
put out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that takes us nicely on to
Yes,
what
sir.
is your take on global racism? Because I've just cited you an example of
Yeah.
some of the things that we've been subjected to.
Mhm.
But being honest, I don't think, even though we know and we will say dirty Babylon over here, I don't think it's still as deep and wretched as is in the States.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I would say this, King. Global racism to me is to where every group outside of our African race is benefiting off our misfortunes. Their main goal is to make sure that we're at the lowest of the low, that we are divided on all accounts, and we all know the more divided we are, the easier it is for us to be conquered. So when it comes in regards to those people, they make us feel so low in every regard, so it's easy for them to take our all and then feed it into their people. They're symbiotes. A symbiote is kind of like a alienated entity that tries to cling on to what is life in order for them to strive and survive. And that's what these people are, who always want to keep us low in every facet of our life. So that way they can continue to suck us dry of our resources, suck us dry of our energy, suck us dry of our all. And then it's easy for us, not knowing who we are, how phenomenal we are, for us to accept any label that's slapped on us. Like I was talking about these artists out here today who are degrading themselves, degrading their people. It's easy for you to slap a label on them. They accept something called money, which has no value whatsoever, but they've been enslaved to think otherwise. And then now they're running around trying to be in the forefront of the world saying, hey, be like me and you'll be free, which is the biggest contradiction statement, because you are a puppet, you are a slave. So if people want to be like you, they're going to end up being a slave just like you. So when it comes in regards to global racism, I feel like unity, global unity amongst our people is the only way to break that, and for us to just live amongst ourselves, be amongst ourselves, and make sure that we do not allow any form of evil or inhumanity to interfere with our plan of unity and empowerment globally. And I feel like we'll be just fine. So that's my problem and solution when it comes in regards to global racism.
Racism.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, we're gonna elaborate probably a little bit more. But
Yes,
what I'm
sir.
gonna do now, I'm gonna kind of have a little break.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Allow you to just gather your breath, further thoughts.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
because I can see there is there's a lot to you
Yeah.
than even has come out so far.
Yes.
Yeah, but in the short period of time that you've been in the studio and venting your life experience and the knowledge, I'm hoping that our listeners, I'm also going to give you a little bit of a time. So if you haven't got paper, that the information to which my brother is going to be putting out is something that you can be noted, so you can follow up as a future reference. Yeah. But for now, let me just take you back, to our hidden track. Yeah, and what I would say to you, family, as you know, there's a natural mystic, and my brother, he is part of that natural mystic, because for whatever reasons, we've been prepared for this time. And as much as they want to lead us to believe that we are lower than, even those who have got the fortunes, and when I say fortunes, I'm talking about the temptation that money brings. The more money you have is the more you want, and then at some point you realize you've already sold your soul, and the money is not serving its purpose because you're not happy, or you're certainly not happy in what you're doing, because it gives them the opportunity to always pull the rug from underneath your feet, and you find out that you don't belong to yourself. So I'm hoping that you're taking heed of what my brother is saying in the studio today. And for you, particularly the younger generation, because I'm here envious of the youth and the energy that my brother is putting forward, and is really encouraging to hear, and the subject matter to which he's touched on, unity, because we know, that is the ultimate. And the chair to which I sit in, that relates to our brother Douglas Williams, who has now gone on to the ancestors, what he's always shouted on, unity, 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 because that's the only thing that holds us back, and gives them that sense of overpowering us, whilst they divide us and we divided amongst ourselves. So the key, my family, is we must unite. And there is a natural mystic, and our brother in the studio is part of that mystic. So do listen keenly, and you will hear blessings.
There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully, now you will hear. It could be the first trumpet, might as well be the last. Many more will have to die, many more will have to cry. Don't ask me why. I say things are not the way they used to be. Don't tell no lie. One and all got to face reality now. Though I try to find the answer to all the questions they ask, though I know it's impossible to go living through my past, don't keep them down. There's a natural mystic blowing through the tell no lie. One and all got to face. Though I try to find the answer to all the questions they ask, though I know it's impossible to go living through my past, don't keep them down. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully, now you will hear. This could be the first trumpet, might as well be the last. Many more will have to die, many more will have to cry. Don't ask me why. Things are not the way they used to be. Don't tell no lie. One and all got to face reality now. Though I try to find the answer to all the questions they ask, though I know it's impossible to go living through my past, don't ask me why. Things are not the way they used to be.
Yes, my family, there's a natural mystic indeed blowing in the air. As to whether you've been listening carefully, that's another matter. Yeah, because oftentimes we're so distracted that, you know, we just say a log can go into our eyes and it's like we still don't see it, but we got knocked out. Yeah, so it is a situation that we need to smell the coffee, realize the time to which we're at, and to take a stand, because if we don't, then you'll find this earth, this Garden of Eden that has been gifted to us, the original people of this earth, will be destroyed by the Ori come up. And when I say Ori come up, it's in reference to our European counterparts who find it necessary to divide us amongst ourselves so that they can continue to exploit our natural resources. And I'm saying natural resources is because we are one with nature. Yeah, it gives us what is necessary in order to maintain that revolution, that momentum, so that we can regenerate. So as an example, the sun enable our body to charge, whereas for them it will burn, and they will shrizzle up, as they say, as bacon, if you're familiar with it, in a hot frying pan. Yeah. So yeah, my guest is with me in the studio, and I'm beginning to enjoy the way to which he is able to project what it is he's been doing his thing over these years, and sharing his experience. Yeah. And we touched briefly just before the interlude on unity. Yeah. So on the unity, I think the question that then comes to mind is, what would you say, as an African, Yeah, what is it that you feel African people must do in order to live a free life? And I'm taking it that is similar to the time to which we're presently going through.
Yes, sir.
And I'm
Yes,
talking about emancipation.
Yes, sir.
So how do we emancipate our mind? Because it is a mental, I would say, more so.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely right, King. And again, thank you so much for the phenomenal opportunity to be here. Thank you. When it comes in regards to our people, I feel like the first thing that everyone should do who is connected to the melanated African race is when you look in that mirror or when you look at yourself, you always realize that you're looking at a phenomenal being in a world that's trying to blind you from seeing it.
For real.
I feel like when we as a people notice how phenomenal we are, we will treat each other accordingly, and we will never allow any form of evil to oppress us or to even be a factor in our lives. So I do agree with you, King, 100% that it is mental and it is a form of spirituality, to where I feel like once we have our mind set to knowing how phenomenal we are, then we will spiritually know, or just spiritually be in a not a mindset, but in a position, that's the word, to where we are moving forward and we're progressing in the phenomenal way that we should have always been, but we are going to continue, or we're going to start and then continue to move forward. So that way no enemy, no evil can ever come against us, because like I said earlier, the only way to abolish this inhumane system is African unity, us not allowing any form of divisiveness to to get in our way of our destiny. And our destiny is to live life in the most phenomenal way possible and not have any negative effect on any of our people or anything else, or anyone else. So that's just my take on that. A divisive thing. I love King Clive. Today, I had some traveling difficulties, but King Clive, just the phenomenal man that he was, he got on the phone and he said, "Reggie, stay calm. We gonna get through this." And I said, "You know what, King, you're right." Before you know it, my phone was dying, everything was going bad, but because that resonated in my mind, Reggie, everything's gonna be all right. Reggie, everything's gonna be all right. That pushed me to be on a positive stance, to just make it to be on the show today. So I feel like when it comes in regards to ourselves focusing on the positive rather than the negative, that is another thing that we can do. I know it gets hot out here during these summers. I know we need to stay hydrated. I know we need to get our 8 hours of rest. And I know we need to always try to focus on positive programming, pushing all the toxins out as well. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But just know for a fact that we as a people, you individually, being the phenomenal Africans and the phenomenal melanated and the phenomenal original people that you are, have all the tools to liberate and free yourself and just be a good being in a world that tries to blind you from seeing it. So that's basically my thing.
Yeah, well, I'd like to pin. I'd like to pin what you said there.
Yes,
that it's a marathon and it's not
Yes, sir.
just a race.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, we are in fact the race.
Yes, sir.
And the marathon is one that we have had to endure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and having endured, the collective means that we can pass on the baton
Yes, sir.
at particular times,
Yes,
because
sir.
sometimes like the potato is too hot
Yes, sir.
for one individual, so
Yes,
if you move it around and sometimes the less of it you have, the longer, because a lot of us, we tend to hoard.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we get wealth or resources,
Yes, sir.
and we just hold it.
Yes, sir.
We hold on to it or we
Yes.
bank it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but it needs to be passed on
Yes, sir.
and put to use.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but we're so wrapped up in keeping an element of secret because
Yes,
we
sir.
feel privileged, because it becomes a mind
You're
thing.
right. You're right, King.
Yeah, we've got to put it in the bank and
Yes,
sit
sir.
on
Yes,
and
sir.
waiting to see the interest.
Yes, sir.
In which case it can regenerate
Yeah.
itself.
Yes, sir. It
And
can.
I think that is an example whereby I remember, I'm that age where we used to throw a thing called partner. I don't know what how would it's like a credit union, but we all subscribe. It's like £100 and collectively amounts to 1,000.
Yes, sir.
And that £1,000 can be put to use an investment, and we share the burden of responsibility.
Yes, sir.
That's the way a lot of us was able to climb out
Yes, sir.
of those sinkholes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
Yes,
then you then find over a period of time, once we've climbed out, some of us take the money and don't want to put back anything.
Well, that's the problem right there, is to where when I've been talking to a lot of elders over here in the UK, and we've been talking of ways to where we can just build funding to where we can have our own land plots and just our own resources, so that way no one can interfere in our communities ever again. I was saying that we should all just sign some form of a contract or some form of a constitution to where if anyone takes this money out, tries to embezzle it, tries to run away with it, and they do not stick or stay on code with the plan at hand, they are basically exiled and they can be punished. And our punishment should be severe enough to let our people know that that is something that you shall never ever do to each other or to us while we're trying to build some form of growth in our community. So that's something that I feel like we can definitely do as a people. Create some form of a constitution or some form of a contract to where our people cannot steal, they cannot embezzle, and all eyes must be on those finances, so that way we always know that that money is where it needs to be and where it's going, where it needs to go.
Right. And that again reminds me that before that contract was like our word was our bond.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And we also had shame and pride.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was like a contract.
Yes, sir.
But in today's society, there's no such thing as shame or pride.
Yes,
and
sir.
even signing something to a
Yes,
certain extent,
Yeah, they can still do it. Yeah.
they could still do.
Yes, sir.
It's not a bond.
Yes,
and
sir.
Again, so saying, it then leads you back to your own spirituality,
Yep.
because it all is determined to your own belief.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it's like getting back to the karma. If you believe, if you do good, good will follow. If you do bad, then it's going to be
Yes, sir.
the opposite. So what I'm saying there, it still would take us back to our spirituality,
Yes, sir.
our nature, because we have a relationship with our nature, which is our spirituality,
You're right.
that ultimately is the contract.
You're right,
And I'm
King.
saying that again because I'm from I'm from
Yes, sir.
St. Thomas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And within my community, there's what is probably some would consider as fetish. And I'm saying that because it's about revivalism. Some might call it obia or voodoo.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes,
It's some part of our custom that connects us. And we say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it means each one is dependent on each other as a collective, but because society or Western society has made us somewhat selfish,
Yes, sir.
so we hoard amongst ourselves rather than looking at the broader community, which is family.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't we don't marry our own family, or
Yes,
we're
sir.
not supposed to.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
we reach out to each other,
Yes,
and
sir.
if we follow our spiritual knowledge and connection, we know the generation as to how to skip.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You're right.
and just
You're right.
because we are informed amongst ourselves. So I think it's very interesting
Yes,
when we
sir.
think about it,
Yes, sir.
that it's not rocket science as to the solution forward,
Yeah.
and love ultimately
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
is the is the answer to all things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because again, I grew up in a community, a village, and it's customary to say morning,
Yes, sir. How are you
afternoon,
doing? Yes, sir.
how to do.
Yes, sir.
Even though we're coming to realize that even saying morning, depending on how you interpret, is like you put yourself on some form of a spell, because the language,
Yes, sir.
the European language is so deceptive.
Yes,
but
sir.
it says one thing and it means something else.
Yes.
Whereas our mother tongue, our natural tongue, when it says something, is that it resonates.
Yes,
It
sir.
means something. It's like you've called on somebody, say, watch over this person because I'm saying such.
Yes, sir.
So your word ultimate is power, and it is a bond.
Yes, sir. You're
Because it's like you're evoking certain things that goes with it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, to cap it still,
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
unity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you for that wise counsel, by the way, King. Thank you so much. I'm honored. I'm honored.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Unity.
Yes, sir.
How is it that, given that we've touched on so much already,
Yes, sir.
yeah, the example of the partner, example of greeting one another.
Yes, sir.
Ultimately, I know there are differences. And I've perceived unity to be that it's being able to identify differences and set them apart in order to move forward for your fulfilled aims and
Yeah.
objective.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
sir.
it might be an old way.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
Yes, sir.
young blood.
Yes, sir. Unity for me, and if we're talking about African unity, I feel like it's we as a people, we know who's for us and who's not. And I feel like that is a spiritual discernment type of thing. I feel like when you trust your discernment to know what's for you and what's not, it will definitely show sooner rather than later. For instance, I know for a fact to where we have a lot of people with the it's about me and not we mentality. Those are not our people. Those are people who want to be amongst the inhumane system and amongst the oppressors who are running it. But those who are quick to put others before themselves and their own people before themselves, that right there is a way that you could build unity, because that's what we're supposed to do. Prime example, growing up, I saw, like King Clive was talking about, where people would speak and they would just have random conversations and it was just so uplifting. And I always loved it when I was growing up. I saw the get-togethers and the barbecues down south to where all of our melanated African people were just unifying, loving each other, helping each other. If someone was down and out on rent, or if someone was down and out and they needed help, we would just lift each other up quickly as possible. I feel like that should be a normality. People always ask, why are you so nice? Why are you doing these good things? Because that's what we're supposed to do. And that's the thing right there, is that you're supposed to be good. You're supposed to do these things and not even want anything in return. When you do something negative, though, when you do something that's inhumane, when you do something that you know you have no business doing, when you do something that you know spiritually that you have just basically had your heartstrings pulled, your spirit pulled, and that the person who you just affected negatively has had the same experience, that's when you know that instead of unity or unifying, you have just created some form of divide. And I feel like it's up to you, the creator of that divide, to abolish it by righting your wrongs, apologizing, letting it be known that this is apology is a commitment or a guarantee that you'll try your best to never do it again. And then you move forward and let it be known that this is exactly what we shall not do moving forward. I don't know if that's a long explanation, King, but that's the best one I could give, because I feel like we as a people should be good on all accounts. And Mr. Clive calls me and he's like, Reggie, man, I need your help with this. If I got it, so does he. And that goes for everybody. So at the end of the day, I feel like we all have the tools to unify on all accounts to make sure that we pull ourselves off of or away from this inhumane system. So we should live the life that we're supposed to.
Yeah, well, I thank you for that, and most definitely I will be needing your help, your assistance.
You already got it, kid. You got it. You got it.
I will be calling for that, because my aim is to achieve that unity, because it's essential. And like my good brother before, that will be part of his legacy, and I think that is ultimately should be our legacy.
Yes, sir.
As a race of people or as a family.
Yes, sir.
That when we leave, we leave this continuity, which is to get that, because we know once we have that, there will be no need for all of these weapons of mass destruction that the oppressor is using.
Yes, sir.
Because we know the ultimate weapon is love. You
can't fight that. You can't get rid of that one. And another thing is too, for our people, spiritually, mentally, physically, we need to be prepared for any and everything, which means to where growing up I was always taught, don't fear a person with a weapon. They need to fear you because you know how to disarm it and protect you and your people at all times. So I feel like when it comes in regards to the education that we are learning, it should be a normality for us to know how to grow crops. And I'm going to get to that in a minute if you don't mind, King. It should be a normality for us to know how to defend ourselves physically in every way. There is a brother out there called Armed Combative. That is ARMED space COMBATIVE. And he is a person to where if you type his name in on YouTube, he shows you ways to defend yourself in the comfort of your own home. You don't even have to go outside to do these tutorials. He trains you virtually on how to do it, and it's for free. I'm always going to try to give information that's free, King, because they're going to try to put a price on everything. But That's another thing too. Spiritually, meditation, connect with the ancestors. Always give thanks to the ancestors. Check up on your elders. Make sure that they're good. Make sure that they're getting 8 hours of rest. Make sure that they're pushing the fluids. If you're going out to an event and you're with your elders, call your elders and make sure when you get home safe that they made it home safe too. These are things that we as a people just need to pick up on. When it comes in regards to growing crops, etc. I have a free land plot, and I call it a free land plot because it's for our people, our African people. This is in Okpeji, Nigeria. That's Opeji, Nigeria. Nig. Am I sounding right, King? ER. All right, IA. And the land plot has my name on it. That's Reginald Haynes. The address is Block F, acre number 10, Okpeji, Phase 2G farmland. Again, that's Reginald Haynes, Block F, acre number 10, Okpeji, Phase 2G farmland. This is land to where it's agricultural use only. So please, if you know anyone that's in that area, or if you plan on visiting that area, it is free for you to grow crops, legal crops. And all I ask is that you respect the land and you respect everyone who's using it, so that way there's no divisiveness. I feel like with this, people can grow crops, eliminating some form of hunger. You can sell your crops, making some form of profit, and that could possibly end poverty. I'm trying. And my goal is to try to get with phenomenal kings like King Clive here, so we can just start raising money, so we can just start buying all different land plots to where there is no more homelessness, poverty, etc. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
well,
sir.
again, that connects with where I myself is at. Yeah, because I do believe the key is to be able to regenerate ourselves.
Yes, sir.
And given the climate to which we're at, and the social media outlets, which enables us to connect with the continent and everywhere in the world without having to travel, even though, again, where we've lost out, particularly in the last few hundred years, I think we've always had, through our spirituality, we had intuition in that we can communicate the same way. The very same piece of land you're talking about,
Yes,
I can
sir.
imagine, you can visualize.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I've never been there.
And you've never
I've just paid for it. I said, this is our people. So and my wife was telling me yesterday, and a few other people was like, Reggie, you so quick to do for your people and not do for yourself. I was like, that's just the mindset that we're supposed to have. So I'm going to be doing that. People like, oh, have you been there? I'm like, no.
Yeah. But again, it's not
for me.
But it's a spiritual.
It's not.
It's a spiritual journey, and because
Yes,
it's a spiritual journey,
Yes,
it
sir.
encompasses us all.
Yes, sir.
And I do believe that we're duty bound.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the same I can share with you within my community. I know there's about 1,300 acres of land.
Beautiful. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
sir.
within that 1,300 acres of land, it's like myself. If I was to purchase it, it's like pulling down ants' nests on myself, because it's too much for myself alone to manage.
Yes, sir.
But within a community,
Yes.
it would enable us to a certain extent, transcend out of rehab,
Yes,
which
sir.
a lot of us are in,
Yes, sir.
and back into life, because a lot of us have lost connection with our nature.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So it's so refreshing to be able to go out in the countryside, to go to a river,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
have a swim in that natural environment, come out totally
Yes, sir.
rejuvenated and refreshed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, instead of being trapped in between four walls.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Where
Yes,
you,
sir.
as you said rightly, we're gonna get dehydrated.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And all of these ailments are gonna
Yes, sir.
sink in. So insofar as what you've just mentioned, I have
Yes,
to
sir.
salute yourself.
It's, yes, sir.
I'm at that point now, and I keep telling my community back in St. Thomas, I want to come home.
Yes, sir.
I'm starting to feel like the elephant.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
who's
Yeah.
done all his roaming.
Yes, sir.
I know it's time,
Yes,
in
sir.
order to go down and just put down your roots,
Yes, sir.
particularly amongst the ancestors.
Yes, sir.
Which is
I hear
like
you.
me giving my account to tell them what it is that I've been doing
Yes, sir.
upon this.
Yes,
upon
sir.
this earth,
Yes, sir.
you know,
Yes, sir.
that's how spiritually
Yes.
I am led.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
but yeah, I'm really excited
Yes, sir.
to having had you into the studio
Pleasure's
to
all
share
mine,
your
King.
journey,
Yes, sir.
and also to see as to how you see the future unraveling.
Yes.
Also, having lived in the States and to come here, and you can see better to a certain extent
Yes,
what
sir.
it is that we are
Yes, sir.
doing, which may well be considered as being wrong,
Yeah.
even though we can then say it's the experience of having done it
Yes, sir.
that is going to educate us as to the solutions to most things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But again, look forward to engaging
Yes, sir.
further with yourself.
Yes, sir.
Not only on this platform,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Many
but,
others.
but within the Garvey village,
Yes, sir. Of course.
because I, for whatever reason, I've gravitated
Yes, sir.
towards the Garvey village.
Yes, sir.
Because that 1,300 acres, as an example,
Yeah.
I see it as a Garvey village.
Yes, sir.
It
Yes,
has
sir.
to be a village,
Yes,
because one man in a place like that, it will drive him mad.
Yeah, yes, sir. I understand, King. I understand. But it's good that we have these resources for our people so we can have a phenomenal community.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
and unfortunate, as again at the beginning, prior to you coming into the studio, I was projecting
Yes, sir.
this studio as in my village community.
Of course. Yes,
I'm
sir.
holding them responsibility, and even in the country, because what's happening, we've been blessed to have had Muta Baruka in these studios.
Yes, sir.
There's a sister presently who's down there in Jamaica.
Beautiful.
I've got these T-shirts,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
which I've got down there in Jamaica, which I'm trying to add to the revolution.
Nice,
Because
nice.
the fight isn't just for us,
Yes, sir.
yeah. We need to impact also on them. So as we're speaking, because of the technology,
Yes, sir.
there are listeners throughout the world.
Beautiful.
Because everything is now global.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're taking a stand,
Yes, sir.
and we're gonna have to be leading now by example.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
what I'm hoping that they would have picked up on is your sincerity,
Yes, sir.
your character,
Yeah.
your love for our queens,
Yes, sir. Yeah.
and the respect towards family.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
sir.
even being humble to realize that none of us are perfect.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. King.
Yeah. Because that is the what you say, the barometer to which we judge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that we are prepared to learn,
Yes,
to
sir.
listen, and
Yes,
to
sir.
move the agenda forward. You know. So again, what I would say, I'm honored to have you. I can share it with you. I don't too like this king thing.
Yes, I apologize. I apologize.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But
Yes, sir.
it enables the conversation to flow.
Yes, sir.
But for ourselves as family, as brothers, yeah, and being humble as to
Yes, sir.
the impact that some people might perceive. Yeah, the key thing is to be humble at all times.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because our reputation to a certain extent go ahead of us, because
Yes, sir.
we've met, and it's the first time we've been this close.
Yes, sir.
I think it's the first time we've actually embraced.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And it just goes to show. And oftentimes when I engage, particularly because I work with young people,
Yes, sir.
yeah, and the manner to which I engage with them, and I sometimes get them rowdy, and so like, why are you carrying on like that?
Really.
Yeah, I
Really?
ask them the question, is a young, why are you carrying on like
Really?
that? And
Yes,
then
sir.
sometimes it's like they take a step back, and before they get to the point, it's like, I don't even know if we're family.
It's I would, if you don't mind me to speak. Yes, sir. When I was growing up, my mother taught me a valuable lesson, and it was when you talk to your elders within your community, you always say, "Sir," "No, sir," "Yes, sir," "No, ma'am," "Yes, ma'am," and then if they don't like that, ask them respectfully, "What would you like me to call you?" And then they will tell you. Some people like being called Mr., Mrs. When it comes in regards to the sir, sire, that revolves around, that stems towards king. Mr., master of your own life, king of your own life, king of this world, the queens of this whole world. So when I say king to you, Mr. Clive, it's all respect, because it's letting it be known that you are part of the original, and with that you are the king of this world. With that you are the king of your own life. With that you're the king of your family. With that you're the king of your community. And that's how I always try to present myself to people, and just try to uplift them in that way. Every time I try to speak, I never want to curse people. I always want to uplift them. So like I was saying, King, my apologies if
No.
Yes, sir.
I'm
But
sure
that's-
the listeners are saying, well, there's no need for that apology, because you've explained.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
maybe, again, well, it's not even so much a maybe. It's a way that the listeners who are listening to understand it's a way of moving forward.
Yes, sir.
Because whereas like myself, I gear them up and then take it
Yeah, I
back
hear
down.
you.
It's because I've come to realize that
Yeah.
our young people, they've lost that regard towards their elders.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been on the buses and they've come to me and asked me for a Rizla.
Okay, and that's I'm guessing that is some form of drugs. Okay. Well, you know what? It's one of those things too. Is to where I feel like with the discernment, a lot of our youths are, and I was saying this yesterday, King. A lot of our youths are going to learn the easy way or the hard way, and I feel like you can never go wrong with being respectful. And I always use my discernment to always try to respect our own until I feel like they don't deserve it anymore. And with that, I don't engage negatively. I just step away. But I feel like with our elders, ever since I've been here, King, I have nothing but respect. I've received nothing but respect. So if there are youths out there that have this mindset, I'm gonna talk to these elders any type of way for whatever reason, I feel like you need to step back, take a deep breath, and realize if it wasn't for your elders, you wouldn't even be here.
Yeah.
So that's the least you can do is show respect to them. And if you do come across elders you feel like they're being disrespectful to you right off the bat, step away. But I highly doubt, 100% doubt that Mr. Clive has ever came that way. So for any youths out there that are being disrespectful to their elders, that are trying to show nothing but love and unify on all accounts, you are basically wasting your energy trying to divide, and you need to use that energy to try to unify and learn. Because our elders are here for a reason, so we can learn. Every time I speak to my elders, like King Clive here, I learn, I listen. I don't try to overtalk. I always ask, hey, may I interject? Do you mind if I speak for a second? You always need to, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. I'm going to leave it at that, King Clive. Yes, sir. Sorry if I went off.
No. I'm like that myself. I'm also like that. Yeah. So yeah, again on that note, it touches myself, particularly when it deals with our youngsters, because as you know, and I think this week I was hearing that there was a death in Islington or Ivory more so, of another young man. Yeah, because we're losing our young soldiers because for whatever reason we're failing to engage with them, because to how I heard it, I understand it, it was like there's a pack of wolves amongst themselves, and they've got us to the point now where we are afraid to interject amongst them because we're fearful of our own well-being, let's say, instead of life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we have become complacent to the point that we don't hear, see, or say anything.
Yes, sir. And you're talking about from the point of the elders, King?
Yeah, from the elders'
Yes, sir.
perspective. We feel to ourselves that we've lost the authority, and in part, because one of the things I've probably alluded to let you know, I mean, I've been into politics.
Yes, sir, I know. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Much love, respect to you, King.
Yeah, I'd been into the politics courtesy of Bernie Grant, but the system don't want the likes of myself.
Okay.
Yeah, because I went in there, and the reason why I was able to engage with the kids or the young soldiers or young people on that level was because I know amongst them, as soon as I gird them up and wind them up and they want to react, there's another 1 or 2 amongst them. I said, no, that's Clive, man. Yeah. And then it served its purpose because the one that I did not know, suddenly he gets to know me from his own peer group.
Yep. That's how it is. That's how it happens most of the time.
You see? But the system who doesn't want that, they took me out. Yeah.
Yep.
So where I was able to now facilitate them,
Yes, sir.
yeah, on that political level, it means that I could get a venue.
Yes,
So
sir.
instead of 1 or 2, I can have hundreds or thousands of them in one place.
Beautiful, King. Beautifully done, and congratulations.
Yeah.
On that.
And
Yes,
then in order for them to come and share that platform, I then interact with the parents.
Yes, sir.
So I know if they're not doing their homework, they're not doing their house chores.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
In order for them to come to enjoy themselves,
Yes, sir.
they're prepared to make that transaction. So
Yes,
life
sir.
is true. You
Yes,
give
sir.
to take.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
these are the areas that I'm looking that we can
Yes.
work in order to get it, to engage again with them using this platform, the platform with Auntie Jean
Yes, sir.
and others.
Yes, sir.
And then the soldiers who are out there, because we are still out there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can facilitate, and then the platform that is there to enable them to take it to another level,
Yes,
whether it's
sir.
in a studio,
Yep.
music studio,
Yep.
that we'll be there for them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is where, like myself now, I'm taking advantage of the fact that you're there. I've got a better insight as to what Reggie Haynes
Yes.
represents,
Yes, sir.
insofar as a platform that he can afford the younger generation who are out there, which it affords an opportunity whereby we can regenerate the resource, the talent, the creativity,
Of course.
and give our own creative and cultural perspective to put
Yes.
our stamp, which is our identity.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
sir.
what I do know in all the years that I've been on this earth,
Yes, sir.
that we are the trendsetters.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, we are. Yes,
we
sir.
we are the ones with the swagger. We are the ones with the rhythm.
Yes, sir. Yep. Nobody does it like us, King.
No one does
No.
it like us.
No, sir.
Yeah. So it's for us to harness it under a brand or a label
Yes, sir.
and to regenerate it, but more important, to keep it for ourselves.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who are rich, and you only have to look at Talma Motown was an exceptional.
Yeah.
But a lot of the artists who even left
Mm-hmm.
and went to others, you can see as to how
Yeah.
they cream off our talent, yeah, and the legacy is now with them.
But that's another thing too, King. If you don't mind me to interject.
No,
Yes,
no.
sir. There's an old phrase: teach a man or give a man a fish, he'll be fed for a day. Teach a man how to fish, he'll be fed for a lifetime. This is my thing when it comes in regards to our people. I appreciate that we have people out there who have been successful, quote unquote, and made a lot of profit. But realize, and I made a quote like this too, King: those who seem like they are truly powerful are really weak, and those who seem as if they are truly weak are truly powerful. Case in point, a leader of an entire world or nation, needs millions and billions of people to vote for him or her, or the energy to be taken from all of those people in order for them to be powerful. But true power comes from within. So those people who are giving their energy has all the power, not the one who's trying to take it. So I say that to say this: when we come out here to our youths, we need to start letting it be known, look, I'm not just going to teach you things. I'm actually going to basically give you the seed in order for you to know how to grow your own resources, grow your own wealth, grow these things. It's like you have so many people out here who is wealthy, King, making millions, possibly billions of dollars, and you can't give any of that to a community aside from it being a tax write-off, so your people can actually know how to feed off of this for a lifetime, so they can just grow their own, their own trees and create their own gardens. You can't do that. Or you tell. So it's funny because when I was talking to you and Auntie Jean a while back, and I was telling you guys about the land, and y'all were saying, well, we never heard of that. And I was like, what? I was like, that should be the normality with all this money because Reggie's broke. But if I have it, so does my people. And the other thing is too, is to where these people out here who claim to have tons of money and they're not giving to their people or trying to plant that first seed for their people and help them teach them how to grow properly, just like they've learned how to grow. I'm not with that, King. I smell selfishness all up in the air. So I feel like that is my motivation right now when it comes in regards to anything that comes my way. I'm just going to be the first one to say, hey guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and plant this seed so we can make it grow into something phenomenal. Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Okay, my family, I hope you took that all in. Yeah? Right, so what we're going to do now, I've already overrun my time. Okay, yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start to wind down. I'm hoping, obviously, that there are a few listeners out there. I'm going to give you the opportunity as to obtain a book. So I'm going to throw the hotline out there. I know it sounded somewhat unfair because obviously we was talking, and it seems as though we was never going to stop talking. But oftentimes, because of the information to which we have to put out there, it would be the case. And it was really exciting. Again, the latter part you see was reaching out to our young people to let them know there is another way, yeah, because you've been our future. We can't just continue to let the blood flow continue on our streets. I'm really concerned, and I know there are others on the front line who are also concerned. So, where we can get an insight as to how we can deal with these challenges outside of the norm, which would be the Babylonian system, who, for whatever reason, instigate these things in order to continue to divide us so that we lose the confidence, as I had shared, in that we end up being like the three wise monkeys. So our age and our life experience don't seem to have any relevance when it comes to engaging with yourself, because we have been dumbed down to the point that we've become cowards. Well, some of us have become cowards, cowards to the point that we're not prepared to intercede because we think that we're going to come to some harm from yourself. But I do, and my brother does also share in that belief that, you know, we as a race, as a people, underlying most of these things is love. And we're saying that despite the fact that you may well be angry, yeah, because we know that you've been dealt a harsh hand at times, yeah. But I think we probably asking of you to learn more of yourself and lean on your inner self, which is your spirituality, that belief that love will conquer most things. So where love is being extended, and again I've seen it because most of yourselves, particularly in these so-called gangs, yeah, you know, all gravitate to mama's food, innit? Or your friend's mother's cooking. You understand? So that love is always there, and what I'd been shared also. There's one certainty, yeah, that we can have, and that is to say we know who our mothers are. Yeah, you might not necessarily know your father, but in most cases we know who our mother is. Yeah, so mother is our nature, and may we always gravitate to our queens, princesses out there. Yeah, so as I start to unravel and wind up, I'm gonna try now to find something that is gonna see us out and to give us some joy. Yeah, some joy in this time. And do remember that, as I shared with you earlier, we're going through the month of honoring the life and legacy of the most eminent prophet and king, His Excellency Marcus Messiah Garvey. And reason for so doing is because the example to which he has left us to enable us to unite, organize, or otherwise we will perish. Yeah, so the baton has been carried thus far to this point, and because it is being done to the sacrifices of our ancestors, or those to which are now in the ancestral realm, we've got a duty of responsibility to take up the baton and to take it on further, so that the younger generation, the younger generation will have the benefit, or will see the benefit rather of a lot of what had been sacrificed by our foreparents. Yeah, so I'm gonna see as to what I can do in
world is in a chaos, the world, oh,
we need to set it straight.
Yeah, our boys and girls, paradise lost, and the world is in a chaos, alright now.
It's in chaos, but if you heard what my brother said, there is chances. Yeah, so take the blessing that my brother has shared with you. My brother Reggie Haynes, who's been in the studio for the last over an hour. Yeah, he shared his experience and opportunities to which can be realized, and the details to which I think also can be had. And there's other platforms to which my brother do attend and put in his contribution, namely the Garvey Village. And I hope that you do tune in to Auntie Jean and just take note of what has been said. Yeah, because it's all relevant in this time of family. Because otherwise, if we don't get it right this time, there may well not be another time. And what I will also say, do not be discouraged, be uplifted. Yeah, be uplifted, because as you can see all around you, the world is in chaos, it's in trouble. Yeah, and it is our time. Africa is calling. My brothers directed you to lands in Africa that, for those who say that we would like to, then the opportunity is there for you. Yeah, so take hold of the rein and do as you say you would like to do. Yeah, do as you like to do.
The world is in a chaos, in a chaos. The world, oh, yes, the world, yeah. Oh, boys and girls, paradise lost, and the world is in a chaos. Alright now, paradise lost, and the world is in chaos. Come on now. A shot a lick, a shot another shot a lick it back. Tap a shot a say that them fix bout that. Them ya lick a shot a them no cater for that. Them have Glock 40 strapped down on them back. Paradise lost, and the world is in a chaos. Alright now, paradise lost, and the world is in chaos. Come on now. From Bronx to Brooklyn, up here dead man. Stonebridge to us, and them a dead one. In a Jamaica, pure Lone Ranger. Most youths where you see have dopey on his shoulder. Man a count all him dopey and him no cater. 1 dopey, 2 dopey, 3 dopey bra. Gotta make a couple more little later. You hear people ball out, no be a murder. Paradise love.
Us. Yeah, we just a great dopey amongst ourselves. Yeah, we don't want no more of that. No more moderation. Just liberation right now. Yes, as we do libation and we pay our respect to our ancestors, those who have made their sacrifices. Let us be mindful, my family, that love and only love can conquer. And we've got a responsibility to take back this Garden of Eden who had been gifted to us by our Creator. The one that knows that we are the one with the true nature, because we have been here from beginning and we are going to be here at the end. And this is indeed the end game. Yeah. So just take your stand, my family. Their time is up. No matter what them try, no matter what them do. Yeah. Their time is up. But we have to be fit for the purpose. The time is at hand. Yeah, so I'd like for my brother now to just give his last word, and then I will come back to you and take it down, Lord. My brother.
First off, King, thank you so much again for having me today. Special shout out to you for this phenomenal opportunity, and for all the listeners out there, all those who are a part of the African, the melanated, the original people's community. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being phenomenal. And like King Clive has been saying, the time is now for us to unify on all accounts. No more division. And moving forward, I just hope that I could be very informative to our people. And I know for a fact that we as a people are only wising up and rising up. And yeah, I'm just going to end off with that, King Clive. Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, my brother. I thank you, and I thank you for your wise words, your encouragement out there. Now, I'd like to bring things to a close by reading again from the Words of Good. And Words Up comes from page 20 of the volume 2 Enlightenment. And words goes: one who does not contribute to his community and the coming generation remains to be a burden to his society and an object of ridicule. Yeah, so my wish is that you're not tarnished with such a brush, and that brush would be one who does not contribute to his community and the coming generation remains to be a burden to his society and an object of ridicule. Yeah, I'm not here to pass any judgment on anyone. It's just about bringing their awareness. And further to that, on page 21, Words Up. If we continue to consult one another and strive to get rid of our handicaps, we will find that the accomplishment is within our capacity. So all is within our capacity in order for us to do what is right, because we have been built in a way to regenerate, because we've endured enough for over 400 years. So the time is very much at hand. The world, yes, is in trouble. We know that living is not easy. Yeah, but it's nothing compared to what our foreparents had us to go through, and for matter of fact endure. Yeah, we no longer have a noose around our neck. We've not been drawn and quartered as our oppressors had done previously to instill fear, but we have proven that there is life. There is no death. We continue to regenerate despite the fact that we have had to go so many thousands of miles to a plantation that was not of our own choosing. As a matter of fact, if we had had a choice, I'm sure we'd rather have stayed back there in Africa amongst the infested water with crocodiles and hippopotamus and all of those things. Yeah, because God has prepared that way for us. And I can say indeed that I myself have walked amongst crocodiles and they did not bite me because they only eat fish. Yeah. So yeah, my family, I'm gonna further find just reflect on probably some of the things I may well have missed. I'm hoping that it's not so much of a case, but I would like to put special words out for encouragement of strength to our warrior queen, Miss Tasha Johnson, out there. May your recuperation, your improvement, your well-being continue to improve to the point that we will be able to celebrate with you at some point your Earth Strong. So we are looking very much forward to seeing you at some point, family, and to your immediate family, your sons, more strength, more joy, and more support if also that is requested or required. So we love you, and we are anxiously wishing all that is well with you. There's so much more I could say. I'd attended the Adji's festival down in Victoria, which I mentioned briefly last week, which had contributed for me in being a little bit late. I didn't really touch too much on Enough is Enough, which is becoming more so a movement. I've extended my support out there in Jamaica by donating T-shirts, particularly to Rockfort, the drummers out there, which is associated with Count Ozzy, that being Times, who I believe is Count Ozzy's son. We've sent some T-shirts down there because we realize that we need to galvanize the forces behind the drums. So we need to send out these vibrations which ultimately are frequency, and frequencies are energy. I felt the vibration today. I was at Libation at the Chestnut with Elder Brother Bandaka, and it resonates. Yeah, and I know those vibration touches the parts that words cannot touch. Yeah, and we just need to combine that with the chant. So the Naya Bingi, the Rastaman, the Maroons, them, yeah, because your names were called, yeah, at libation this morning. Yeah, Nani, Bogle, yeah, all of those ancestral forces, we call upon them in this time, yeah, because this is the best time in order to so do, yeah, because right now we know that historically Jamaica has always had a pivotal role in the upliftment of the motherland, namely Africa, and we've always used that through vibrations, whether we Rastaman vibration, but we've always used music, which music is the food of love. Yeah, so we've always used loved in order to push our agenda. So let it be continued, and all those down presses, which is presently to a certain extent our government and our law enforcers, yeah, we need to just chant them down. Yeah, but even amongst them, we know that they are the few. They may well be the chosen few. So to you, who are the chosen few, I ask of you, yeah, to say enough is enough, and take a stand for the nation. And when I say the nation, it also means for the generation and for Africa, because we've lost our standing. Whereas before we used to be the country that represent truth, rights, and justice, yeah, we've become the laughing stock. Yeah, so much so that we're no longer on that stand. Yeah, we've been overtaken. Not that it's a bad thing. Barbados seem to be more so in the driving seat. Yeah, but we need to take our rightful place. Yeah, when it comes to that moral compass and that moral high ground. Yeah, so I just want to love you and leave you with those few food for thoughts, and that we continue to realize that that paradise isn't necessarily lost. Yeah, it's not necessarily lost. Yeah, because all we need to do is to find ourselves, and once we do that, then we're back on track again. Yeah, so manners, love, my family, Jah guide, God replace, and respect.
Talking to America, whoa, whoa.
Blessed love.
Talking to Africa, whoa, whoa. Talking to Asia, Jamaica, and the people all over, whoa, whoa. You've got to learn to love your brothers and sisters, You've got to learn to live together, whoa, whoa. U-N-I-T-Y, that is unity. U-N-I-T-Y. U-N-I-T-Y, that is unity. U-N-I-T-Y. I'm talking to the Honor-Town child. Telling said too much blood and boil. Talking to the Denham Town child. Lord, them those are dirty of the soil. I'm talking to the Roseland child. Telling said too much blood and boil. I'm talking to the Matches Lane Garden. See if you am back to whoa, whoa, whoa. U-N-I-T-Y, that is unity. U-N-I-T-Y. U-N-I-T-Y, that is unity. U-N-I-T-Y.
Yes, unity in our time. Unity is what is needed. We can't get away from it. Yeah, we are that generation who are here to reverse the brainwashing and set people free. Yeah, so like again to thank my guest who's in the studio, who's traveled all this distance to be with you on this fine day, and he could have been in the park with his family enjoying the breeze and recharging up his batteries. You know, so my salute to Reggie Haynes, who's in the studio, one who had traveled previously from stateside in Texas, and I myself, I've not even really been to the States, you know. The only place I've traveled, it seemed like, is Africa, you know. But yeah, I'm blessed. Yeah, so until next week, my family, hold it close to your heart. This unity is the key, and love is the answer to all that be. Yeah, so blessed love, and I'll see you next week.
Talking to the Denham town child, tell them say too much blood a boil. Talking to the Anna town child, Lord them just a dirty of the soil. So we talking to the inner city child, tell them say too much blood a boil. I pay a school face, no man no smile. Still I see I go and take away this oil. Hey. UNITY, that is unity. UNITY. UNITY, that is unity. UNITY. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.